Welcome back, everybody, to some more Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. If you did not see my first few episodes of this series, there's a link in the description below that will take you back to episode 1. Also, thank you in advance to all of you who hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I want to thank everyone who's been giving me some great input. Those of you who are much more familiar and experienced in this game than I am. This is my first time playing through. So I've got a lot to learn. I recognize that, and you guys have been very helpful with that. One of the very first things that a number of you suggested after the last episode was that I need to purchase some vehicles for my construction office, and it'll make certain things free that right now I'm paying for. So you suggested getting I believe it was an excavator and a bulldozer. So let's go ahead and purchase a few of those. And I guess that'll probably make things a little easier for me moving forward. So let's go ahead and get 2 of each of those if I can. I don't know if I can or not. Yes, I can. All right, so that'll help. That'll allow me to like flatten land and things like that for free. I expanded their radius out to 3 kilometers, so I think that'll cover pretty much everywhere I have right now. The other thing I'm thinking about is, I mentioned a lot in the last episode about needing a source of rubles, because right now I built myself right over here in the corner with Warsaw Pact borders, which means all my trading is going to be for dollars. It hadn't occurred to me that I could still just go over to the border with the Warsaw Pact nations. I meant Warsaw Pact here. NATO is the nations I've been trading with right now. Warsaw Pact being the Soviet Union's alliance. I could build another settlement here and just build some very basic things that'll allow me to start exporting to the Warsaw Pact so I can start making rubles. So I'll have to figure out exactly what I want to do, but I'll probably build a second settlement over here over the course of this next episode. Okay, so it looks like there is a nice little deposit of oil right here, and it's close enough to a couple of export locations that I think that might be the way to go here. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little tricky to figure out the whole chain for building oil, but I think I can do that. So we're going to get some oil rigs in here. We'll figure out where we want to put a refinery. We're going to start refining that stuff. We're going to get it exported and start making some rubles. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get this oil pumping, this pipe pumping station going, because that's going to allow me to bring multiple oil rigs, put their pipes into one spot, and then allow me to pump those in from there. So I think that's what we're going to need first, if I understand how all this works right now. Granted, this is my first time doing this, so obviously this is all a learning curve for me right now. Let's go back to oil. Let's go for our rigs now, which are going to be over here. And we're going to want to run them into that spot there, and obviously we need to have these in places where they're each going to be able to pump independently. And I guess we need at least 3 of them. Run this one up this way a little further. There we go. All right, and then we'll need to run that pipe. It didn't automatically connect for me, so let's go back to infrastructure. We'll have to run this pipe around. Perfect. All right, so now we've got 3 of these that are going to go into this, and then that's going to go into there. Obviously, all of this is going to require electricity, which we'll have to buy from Cernakova, but that's okay. We're also going to need to run roads to those. We're going to have to build housing for everybody who's going to work in these places. I think that should be about all we need for now. And then what we're going to need is we're going to need from this then, and I think we're going to have to probably switch over to rubles at some point because I want to make sure we have enough money to do all of this. From here then we have to export into some, let's take a look here, some storage, which I guess will go over here. Can we go around? Yeah, we can go over on this side with that too. So we'll run a storage here, or maybe we'll try to run them all in one place, because I think from the storage then we're going to need to be able to pump it into a place where we're going to pick it up. So let's try to put these as close to the refinery as we can. Because they're going to have to all output. This is all a learning process for me, obviously. I want it to go into that one. And then we'll put this one into there. Like that. Okay. Because then I think it has to go into another pump. And you guys are probably all watching me. Some of you know how to play this game, and you're saying, no, that's not what you do, because you probably know better than I do. So, then we have to go into a pump, which then sends it to a loading, offloading station. And I guess what we want is, no, we don't want the station. We need the pump first. This time we need one that comes from 3 and goes into 1. And I think we'll put it like right here. Like so. Like so. Okay, now that's connected to all 3 of those. And now we need an offloading and loading facility that's going to connect to the output on this thing. And I think if I did it all right, that should be the whole process. Now, I may have just overspent my dollars. I hope I didn't, because I'll have to go back and reorder some of this stuff with rubles. Of course, we're going to have to connect it all by road and all with electricity, and there may be something I've done wrong in all of that. I don't know yet. We're going to figure that out here soon, though. Watch my dollars go down quickly. All right, first problem I'm realizing. Apparently, you can't build roads under pipelines. So we're going to have a way for this one to get around. I have to get really creative here with that. We'll run this road. Ah, darn it. Just messed that up. Because we need a way for these pipelines to get their people and have to have road access. So there's that. And then what we need to do is just run this pipeline around the road. So just little things like that. You learn the hard way, I guess. There we go. All right, problem solved there. Just trying to get all this stuff connected by roads. And I need to switch over to spending rubles because I know I've got to be close on dollars at this point. All right, so there's that road. And then what we have to do is we have to get around. We have to get everything else connected into this road. And then we're going to have to run it. Oh boy, we might have some problems here because of the pipelines again. Maybe we can just do some walkways into that. That's going to be a problem. All right, but anyway, let's get this connected. There we go. We'll get the road here for that. So all our roads are connected. Everything's connected by road now except for our oil tanks, which I don't know that that should be a huge issue, but who knows. Now we need power. And that means we're going to have to run a line. I guess that's going to actually be under infrastructure. Going to have to run high voltage lines. I think 8 megawatts is probably enough for now. Run high voltage lines up here. Let's run them right over to here. We're going to probably need more than one of these, actually. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to get electric lines. You know what? Let's run it this way for now. Because then what we need is we need a transformer, which is going to have to connect to those lines. And then from there we'll have to run Now we have to go back to energy related. We need a substation that's going to connect to everything that needs power. We're going to need more than one, obviously. We'll run one right there, and then we're going to need another one up here to power all of these. Can't quite get that. There, that should do it. And then what we need is we need medium voltage lines to run from here this is just all so tricky. From here into the station, or into the transformer. From here into that transformer. That should do all of that. Now we got to get everything built and see if there's any kinks in the armor anywhere. Then we're going to have to start building homes so people can work, and we'll probably put them right in here, right in the middle somewhere. We're going to have trucks to be able to start delivering that oil when the time comes. All right. That's without power supply, so we're not getting power from here. Where's the problem with that? It's not. Oh, we have to buy it. Okay, that's what. We need to go in and we need to actually import the power that we're going to use. And I think a minimum amount right now should do the trick. But obviously we're going to have to purchase that. So, okay, that's still saying no power there. So I don't know where our glitch is, but we'll have to figure that out. All right, we just had to rerun the lines just to get it working properly. Looks like we've done that. We're getting the wattage there. We're getting it at the substation, which means we should have it at all of our buildings. We're still waiting on the oil refinery to be built. That is a long process. That's a big-time building, and it's going to pretty well wipe us out of our dollars. There's no input connection here. I don't know why that is. Okay, this one's got electricity as well. These are all running. I might just have this backwards. I don't know. All right. In the meantime, we need some residential buildings. And we're going to make sure that they have electricity to start. Looks like they will, so that's good. I think we'll go right up here. Let's get this one facing this way just because it'll be a little easier for the connection. We're going to need footpaths for them to be able to walk to the road. We'll even run one right there. Nope. Can we do that? No. Let's do that. I think that should be good. We're obviously going to need a place for those folks to get food, and I think we'll probably build more than one residential building here. But let's see. We need them to be able to buy food. Even Soviet Russians need to have food. We'll make them walk everywhere to get it, but they will have food. Okay, so there's that. I think we've got about everything we need now. So let's go ahead and watch these buildings being completed, and we'll see. Looks like we're going to have 121 workers to start. We're obviously going to need far more than that. This oil refinery can max out at 1,100 workers when everything is going as it should. Hey, everybody's going to buy food right off the bat. I guess we're probably going to need to be able to import that food somehow, right? Or does that happen automatically? It looks like it's going to happen automatically, at least at first. All right, so we're just going to have to see how things are going once this refinery is built. I know for sure the last thing that we definitely need is going to be the vehicles that we need to make all of this go, to export stuff from the refinery, pick it up right here, drive it to Cernikova, and get it sold. All right, so there's our road vehicles depot. Let's go ahead and get that building complete and then see what kind of available options we have. We're definitely getting low on funds. We're going to have to start making some money here soon. And I've been completely neglecting the other part of my settlement while I work on all of this, but I guess that's probably okay. Rubles. Okay, so let's look for oil tanks. We've got 2 pages of those, actually. This one's the most expensive, but it holds 14 tons. Oh, 9 tons of oil or bitumen. That might be the most efficient way to do this. I don't know. These ones hold 6. Maybe at first we'll go with a couple of these smaller ones. So let's go ahead and allow construction to finish up. And then we're going to go ahead and make our stops. We're going to have a stop there. We're going to tell them wait until loaded. We might have to specify exactly what they're each going to load, but for now, we'll just tell them do whatever. Okay, same thing for this one. Oh. I don't really want to mess with that. I'll just do this the old-fashioned way for now. Pick it up there. Wait until... Oh, no, same one. All right, let me get that fixed. Okay, our refinery is complete. Now let's see if everything's working. Looks like it's bringing in the oil, so that's good. We don't have anybody working yet, so that's why they're not exporting anything. I think we need to connect via footpath to the refinery, because as of now we have no way for workers to get there. There we go. Now we need some people to start going to work. Hey, here comes our first worker. Let's see who he is, because the motherland is grateful for you, sir. Can we do that? Can we look and see who he is? I'm not sure. I thought there was a way to do that. But you, sir, we are grateful for. We'll wait until he gets there, and then we'll be able to see who he is, because he'll be the only person working at the refinery. I guess with all of this, we're definitely going to need those fire stations. Everybody's been telling me we need to have fire stations. Seems like that would be a really good time to have one. Would be there. All right, let's pause because I want to see who that first guy is, so he can be remembered forever. Oh, it's actually a female. I shouldn't have assumed it was a guy, right? So track it to my, I don't know. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. But thank you, Ida. We're going to call you Ida. 23 years old, going to work at the refinery. Let's see if they start exporting the oil. And then once they do that, they're going to have refined oil, or so fuel, bitumen. That's primarily what we're going to be dealing with here. We'll see how this all works once we start actually getting things going. Oh, this doesn't have a power supply? Come on. I thought we did that properly for everything. I can't believe I didn't connect power to that building. All right, we'll deal with that. All right, we see the lights. That tells me we've got electricity and we've got fuel being exported. We're bringing in a nice amount of oil. So it appears that everything is running now as it should. Oil rig number 1, oil rig number 2, oil rig number 3 are all operating. Let's go ahead and see. Our pump is pumping the oil properly. Our tanks, let's see if they are bringing stuff in. This one's bringing in fuel. That one's also got fuel. There's our bitumen coming in. Now we have to see if we're getting the exportation going on here properly. Let's see if the... Okay, so this truck is loading up the bitumen. I guess what we probably want to do here is we want to tell them which ones we want doing what. I think fuel is going to be produced a lot more quickly than the other stuff. Since we're just getting started, oh, we can do two trucks at once. I didn't realize that. That's even better news. And they're both loading that stuff right now. So once they fill, they'll go. And then by then we should have a nice backlog of fuel, so we should be able to fill those trucks a lot quicker. All right, I think everything's actually working properly, and that was relatively smooth. Now, of course, we need to deal with all of the citizens' issues, which we have going on at our other spot as well. But at least now we have a source of both rubles and dollars for income. We'll see how we're operating over the span of a month or so. All right, back to the other side. I want to see how things are going here. I know we're waiting on our first harvest. It looks like the growing process has completed. So now, there goes the harvest. Oh, very cool. I'm just in time to see this. This is kind of cool to be able to actually watch. Oh yeah, baby. Let's get the harvest going. One of the things I really like about this game is how you can really just get down and actually see everything operating. There's something satisfying about this. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but it looks like there's a truck there ready for everything to be loaded up. And once it's filled, it can deliver those crops. I want to make sure that everything in this supply chain is working properly. So let's go ahead and speed up just a little bit. Here comes another truck. Oh, that's a delivery truck. It looks like it's going in. All right, so they delivered then right across the street to the agro farm. And you can see here it's got crops in the warehouse. Now my question, of course, is what do we do about them from there? Are they going to be assigned to be delivered over here? So part of the problem is we only have 2 workers in the food factory. That's hardly enough to do what we want it to, but the export, the warehouse is pretty well full. So I guess we've got to find a way to export the extra crops because I also don't think we really need to be importing crops anymore. So let's take a look, and we're going to tell it no more importing of crops because I don't think we need them. All right, we're going to have to bring in some immigrants because we need more workers. We have nobody working right now. 10 immigrants from the Soviet bloc, third world. I don't think we need... I think third world would probably be fine right now. So let's import a bunch of workers. This is going to give us new workers that we desperately need to work in some of these factories. Because right now we have 0 people working in the food factory, and we've got a bunch of crops coming in this harvest. You can see how little we've harvested so far, but how quickly we're going to fill up this factory if we don't find a way to get those crops produced into food. Alright, so I've canceled our grocery store from importing any more food. They're going to still import meat for now. So now what I need is I actually need to be able to bring the food from the food factory over to the grocery store, but then I'll probably also be able to export some of the extra. So I guess I've just got to figure out exactly what kind of vehicle we need here. Covered, that would probably, yeah, that'll do the trick. They can move food and crops. So let's get one of these. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tell them to go from the food factory. We'll wait until loaded and then deliver to the grocery store, and then any excess, I guess, can be exported. Alright, that'll do the trick, I think. We'll see how that works in reality. Alright, we're up to 11 workers, and we've got more coming, so importing those workers from the third world seems to be doing the trick, at least for now. So now we're going to start unloading some of what we've got built there. We're going to go deliver that. We may need more than one truck to make this happen. We'll see how quickly we're doing this. I don't know if I have a truck running from the agro farm to the factory. I don't think I do, so we're going to need a truck doing that as well. Okay, here comes our truck. It's a relatively small truck, but I think because it's doing pretty short hauls, I think that's probably the way to go. So let's go ahead and see if this thing, everything works properly with it. What we want to do is we want to take some of these 28 crops that we've already got, and you can see there's still a lot more to go. And we want to, now we have to wait until the harvester gets out of there. We want to load that up, drop them off at the food factory so they can turn those crops into food. Nice, that happened pretty quickly. Who's this coming in here? Is that our delivery guy? Looks like he did not load up completely. He wasn't able to sell everything, I guess. I don't know, we're going to have to watch that. Oh, he's delivering to 2 grocery stores. Alright, let's see if this works now. We're going to need more trucks because we're producing the food faster than we can export it. There we go. Dropped off some stuff for them to do. There's no workers in there now? Probably because they had nothing to do, because there were no crops. That'll probably change now. Okay, so we already had a truck going to the grocery store. So I guess we can probably take this one and remove this stop and make this this road vehicle just about doing exports. Let's see if I can figure out how to remember, if I can remember how to do that. There we go. So they're just going to go to the custom house and they're going to unload whatever they can from there. All right, so back to the other side now. We're looking at our fuel. Looks like we've got we're up to 20 tons of fuel that has been produced. One of these is doing, they're all doing fuel now. Where's our bitumen going in then? Somebody's got to actually be producing that. So I guess what we need to do is we need to tell one of them to store one thing and the others not to. Okay, there we go. So now I have one of these tanks that's going to hold the bitumen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but then they'll all run in here, and we're still waiting for this truck to load up. Once it's able to fill up, then it's going to go. And I ordered my other truck to only do fuel, so it should fill up a lot faster. Hopefully we start making a profit. Okay, now we have a new problem, something I hadn't thought about, and that's heating. It's September now, we're going to start having some cool days, and I guess we have to provide some source of heating for our people. Even cruel Soviets need to be able to, the cruel Soviet government needs to keep its people warm so they don't die, so they can still be effective workers. So I think probably for the time that's left in this episode, that'll be what we're working on, is figuring out how to bring heating to our people. Alright, so heating plant is also going to require coal. So we're going to need to get that all figured out. And that's going to require delivering coal to another location that we're not currently delivering it to. I guess we can put the heating plant right in here with everything else. And we're just going to have to deliver coal the old-fashioned way. If we can. I don't know if we can figure out a way to run coal directly. You know, let me try and figure that out, because here's our coal ore processing plant, and what we need is a way to run that coal ore directly into the heat facility. So let me figure out where to do that. Okay, so there's that. I don't know if they'll automatically produce heat for people or how we're going to have to run all of that to get where it needs to go. They can produce, what is that, 42 gigajoules of heat? Of course, they require coal to be imported for that purpose. It only takes 7 workers to do it. Okay, several of you told me I need to have a small aggregate storage facility for the output for the coal, so we're going to try and figure out to do that. And I found a spot where this would work. I'm still trying to get the terrain figured out to where we can make this happen. We're so close to being there. Alright, there it is. Now we just need to hold the left mouse button to flatten the terrain. I guess that still costs money to do. There's our aggregate storage facility. That's going to give us a place to start outputting the coal. Of course, now we got to figure out how to get it from there to where we need to go with it. Okay. We don't have power supply, so we're going to need electricity for it. I don't know why our power won't connect to there. Probably has something. Oh, there, now it's running. Okay, so now you can see the coal's going to start piling up over there, but we've got to figure out a way to get it from there to where we need to go with it, and that's going to require some more work as far as infrastructure goes to get a way of connecting the roads. Oh, that's going to be brutal from there. We're going to have to probably run all the way out and around somewhere. Alright, we did it. It took a lot of work, but we got a road successfully run. So that's going to allow us now to change where we pick up our coal from. And hopefully we'll be able to be more efficient with our production of that coal. Alright, and I figured out why it is. I forgot what I need to do is I need to purchase bulldozers for our construction company so that it won't cost us money to level and raise terrain anymore. And I think somebody also said we want an excavator for that purpose, so let's make sure we purchase an excavator for them as well. And if there's anything else I need to do to make that happen, let me know. Now what we need is we need to purchase another vehicle for coal hauling, and this one's going to be responsible for delivering coal to our power plant, or our heat plant. So let's go ahead and buy another vehicle for that purpose. A dumper. I don't think it has to be anything particularly expensive. So let's go ahead and tell him, like we've told the other vehicles, to now pick up your coal from there. We'll tell him to wait until he's loaded. He's going to drop it off right there. Alright, now we just have to make sure that we get that heat to all of our buildings. Once again, it's just supremely satisfying to watch these trucks coming up the hill on our gravel road to load up the coal to deliver to other places. I don't know, this is fun to me. It's just cool to watch this happening. And they're going to load it pretty fast because we're getting a decent amount of coal. We're already at almost 20 tons, so this is much more efficient than only unloading coal as we produce it. We've got 3 trucks right now that are delivering that coal. Hopefully one gets filled up. Looks like it's going to fill up just in time to get out of the way to allow the next truck to come in and do the same. So we're probably going to produce coal faster than we can load it up. And that's okay. We've only got 4 people working in the coal power plant right now. I really need to import some more workers. But there's just so many moving parts. There's so many things that I need to manage. I can imagine how this would get when you get really crazy high in numbers. Boy, we could have 170 people working in that food factory if we would get it all going. I want to look at our economy and trade right now, see how we're doing financially. So it looks like this month so far we've exported is that 5 million? 5,000? No, just 5,000. $5,000 to the Soviet bloc, 6,000 or 5,000 rubles to the Soviet bloc, $6,000 to the Western countries. The problem, of course, is that we've imported far more than that, and most of that is coming from delivery cost. So we've got to figure out exactly what it is that all of that money is being spent on, so we can try and cut down on the delivery cost. because we're actually making a profit if you cut out the cost of delivery of those items. Maybe it's the vehicles that's costing us. I don't know. But we've got to figure all that out. Alright, so I made the same mistake I did before, and that's the mistake of thinking that coal ore is the same thing as coal, which it's of course not. So while I can certainly use this coal ore by delivering it to our ore processing plant, what I need to do is take coal, processed coal from here to our heating facility. So let's go ahead and tell them to unload that coal. And then delete this. And then what we need to do is we need to set up delivery of our coal, our aggregate export of coal over to our heating facility. Looking back at our oil processing facilities here, let's see how we're doing. Looks like we got a truck that's just leaving with a full load of fuel, or nearly so. I want to know how much we're storing though, because I want to see if we're keeping up, and it doesn't look like we are. Seems like maybe we could probably use one more truck delivering the fuel. We've only got 13 workers. We could definitely use more workers, because look how much oil we have, 193 oil. We're just not processing it fast enough, and what we need for that is more workers. So we can definitely get more. So let's go ahead and invite immigrants from the third world. See if we can get them to all go to work in the oil refinery. Eventually we're going to have to give heat to these people, but for now that'll help solve some of that problem. But I'm waiting on developing heat until I make sure that I understand completely exactly how the heating system works. And for that, we're waiting on our first delivery of coal, which I think is coming right here. Oh, that guy was just dropping it off. We're waiting on the truck that's going to come pick up. Is that this guy here? Looks like it is. So this guy's going to load up on the coal, and he's going to deliver it to the heat processing plant. So let's go ahead and watch that happen, because then I want to see what happens with that heat once it's produced and how I run it to the places that I need it. There we go. All right. Now we're running. We're producing heat, but now we've got to figure out how to send that heat where we need it to go. So let's take a look at the rest of the process. First of all, I want to know, are these people getting heat? Of course, I don't know if they need it or not. There we go. It does have a heating connection. So the question is, how do we run it to further out facilities? And that's all going to be done, I would guess, through here. Heating plant, we've got a heat exchanger. So we need a heat pumping station, I guess. Do we need to run that through pipelines? Let's take a look. Here we go, heating related. All right, heat piping, small, heat piping, big. I don't know if we need it to be big. 100 cubic meters per hour. How much are they producing? I don't think we're going to need that much. So let's go with a small pipe. Oh, and it can't go across the road. Are you kidding me? That's going to be an issue. All right, we'll have to figure that out. There's got to be a way to run things across roads. Maybe underground pipes somehow? I don't know. Okay, so if we build a heat exchanger, I don't know if a small one is enough to get all of that. It looks like it probably would be. We can put it right there. That's going to run heat to all of these buildings, and then what we just need to do is we need to get our pipe, and I don't know if that's going to need to be longer, if we'll need a pumping station for the heat, how that'll work. But there we go. We've got our pipe run all the way. We rerouted the road to go down here and in between. So that'll help with that. Now let's see if we're going to successfully produce enough heat for everybody who needs it. Alright, it's receiving heat. And we're actually only running at about 55% of capacity. That's good news. I think I've got it all figured out successfully. Now what we need is we need to start educating people. We have no school. So let's deal with that. I think we've got enough money to deal with that. We need a regular school. I think we have a kindergarten over here already. Where can we put a school that'll be relatively close? Looks like that'll work. Right there, right next to the grocery store. Connect it by a footpath or two. And now people can go to school. At least high school, I guess is what that is. We'll need some teachers. So we'll see if we can actually get some. We may need to import said staff. Let's take a look. With university educations. Yes. Oh, we already have that. Okay. Experts from a Soviet bloc. Let's do that, huh? Let's get some experts going. I don't know if that's needed. Okay, we've got one staff. We have no teachers yet. But I'm sure we're going to get them. We have people walking there. Here come the students. 5 staff, no teachers. We need people with higher education. That's our problem. How can we get said people without importing them? Yay, we have a teacher. We have 22 students. Oh, so we have some in the schoolyard, some in the classrooms. I guess they wait in the schoolyard until they have teachers for the classrooms. Excellent. Now we're getting some teachers. All right, so that's all good. Pub and tavern, we need spirituality, we need culture, we need a hospital. Electronics, clothing. All right, there's still a lot to be done, but I feel like we're getting closer and closer to figuring out how to operate everything. Now we just got to figure out the financial situation and make sure that we're actually going to make some money. It's October 2nd. So we're not making a lot of dollars right now. We're making a nice amount of money from the export of oil for rubles. So that's good. But without building anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a week or two without building anything and see if the economy as it stands is self-sufficient in terms of being able to produce what I need to get by without, spending more money on things. Okay, now obviously we have an issue with heat over here at our other facility, and we're probably just going to have to import that for now. I think we're making enough rubles from the export of oil that we can probably do that. I don't know if that's something we can import. Can we import heat? I don't know. I guess that's something we'll have to figure out. I'm going to actually wrap it up right there because I have a lot of questions that I'm hoping some of you who are more skilled at this game can answer. And the first one is, can I import heat from other places? Or do I have to build my own separate heating plant here and then just import the coal? I don't know which way is best to do that. Out of everything else that you've seen me do today, what are your thoughts? What are your comments? What are your questions? What are your observations? I feel like I'm getting a little bit better handle in this game all the time. I know I've got a lot to learn, and we're just getting started. We've got to meet the needs of our people. There's a lot of other things we could be doing. So use the comment section below. Drop a like if you want to see more from this, and we will see you again real soon. Thanks for watching.